Morning, commissioners and chairman. For the record, my name is Lourdes Torres, and I am a current resident at the Waipouli courtyards. And I come here on behalf of myself and all the other residents who couldn't make it here because of their work or other issues. I have been coming here quite a few times, sounding an alarm that I now see in writing. The concerns that I've brought up to the commission again and again, I saw on May 8th, and I'd like to please read it and then just share briefly a couple of things about me personally and my life on this island, if I may, so please. So this is the one thing I'm really concerned about. The item is listed under K at the end of this page, where it states that me as a household at the Waipouli will receive a referral to a comparable unit as a basis for their replacement housing in their notice of eligibility. However, housing in the immediate area is limited, and there are no similar apartment complexes in close proximity to the property. It is anticipated that comparable replacement housing will be difficult to identify in the relocation process. There are no other apartment complexes other than vacation rentals in the immediate area, and there are few in the surrounding towns. And it closes this particular paragraph by saying that only 2 of the 32 relocation sites offered on Kauai are on Kauai, and thus invariably the project will represent housing and employment challenges for a proportion of the displacees. Then it talks about some numbers. And I'd like to take this little paragraph and apply it to me personally, if I may so please. I have lived on the North Shore since 2003. And recently I was pushed out of the North Shore like 2 years ago because I couldn't afford to live there anymore. I have a 16-year-old who goes to Kauai, and she is a sophomore graduating, and this is relevant, I'm going to put it all together in a second, it's very important. My daughter, born and raised on the North Shore, graduated from elementary, now is in high school, and was given the chance to graduate a year early because she's a 4.3 student. And instead of doing that, she's going to take the last year and add to college credits. And she will be graduating from Kauai High in 2 years with 34 college credits. And I say that proudly, if I may, but to displace her in that journey that she's on, because when she graduates, she's going to go straight to KCC and then straight to Manoa because we don't have a 4-year accredited college here. Her life has been so wonderful and so peaceful and so great. And she doesn't know that we are now practically homeless for all intents and purposes, because I thought we were going to get a relocation plan when I first spoke to the folks in Interwest, which made it clear that because they're getting the funds from the government, that they would have to abide by some it will kind of initiate these steps, right, to protect us, and they will have to abide by the rules. But I had been here sounding the alarm saying, hey, where are we going to go? I don't see it in a plan. The plan that was submitted and we reviewed submitted by Melissa Mann, who's no longer a part of it, part of the Interwest group, what she submitted was very disturbing. And we were here again and again, me sharing my personal experience. Hey, it's okay. I have no fight in this. This is not anything that has to do with me. Hawaiian Homelands has a right to go wherever they want and take over wherever they need to. And I support it 100%. But I would just simply like to know, does this paragraph mean that I have to now leave? I'm a farmer on island. I have been farming for 10 years. And there's no way that I can uproot without catastrophic consequences to me personally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And these are facts. These are facts that I need to make this plea with you so that you can get a better picture, because right now we're just collateral damage. We're just numbers. Oh, there's 59 units and I don't know how many we have to relocate. I want you to see someone who is in trouble. If I lose my land here where I farm, I'll lose the money that I get as grants. I'll lose everything. I will become poor and homeless, and I have to face my 16-year-old and tell her that because I can't move to Oahu. How do I do that? It's just impossible. And how does all the rest of the people, the dentists, the doctors that are there, the nurses that are there, how do they say, hey, the alarm that we've been sounding now is in writing. Now it's here in front of me. And it was quite a sobering moment because the worst fears, right, is actually now coming to fruition because it's written here for me to see in plain English. So now I don't have to convince you that I'm going to become homeless and I'm going to be displaced and that a series of financial, negative financial things are going to cascade. And it's very real. And I would like to know if any of you can feel that or can understand or had anything to say about it or can give me some reassurance that I'm not going to end up on the street a year from now and having to tell my daughter, sorry, your beautiful plan ahead, against all odds, I would rather say, but, Kauai has changed so much. It's such a beautiful place. I want her to be able to stay here. She has her dad here, and her dad is one of 9 brothers and sisters. She has her grandmother here. She has a whole support system here. And I just thought if it's okay for you to hear me say that and understand, we are not fighting. There's no fight here in terms of like the plan that DHLs has in motion. I have nothing to say with that. I think, you have to do what you have to do to get your work done, right? This is your mission. This is the oath you took, right? To do right by the people in this entity, right? The beneficiaries. I only have to speak of the fact that if federal funds are being used, there should be very little harm caused, right? If taxpayers' money is being used, the idea, the URL was established years ago with a lot of fight, right? But a lot of people shed blood literally back then. And it was so that federal funds could never displace the amount of people that it displaced back whenever this was created, in the 60s and 70s. And that I want to see this not happen again here. And, just the numbers got me a little nervous because I understand the math. And if I do the math, it's a lot of units. So again, I want to separate because I want to be here with so much respect for what you're doing and what's being proposed, and that never I be seen as I'm against them or they're against us. It's just saying, hey, I hope that very minimal damage is caused to me. And that's what is stated. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. I appreciate them so much.
Thank you.
Aloha.